What's up, guys? RoughToBeBuffTV, it's KG. We are back with another exercise tutorial. We are covering your midsection and your core. Again, I got a lot of requests to do more core videos, so that's what we are gonna go over today. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do 3 versions. You're gonna need a rig or a pull-up bar of any sort. We're gonna do a knees to elbow, then we're gonna do a toes to bar, and then we're gonna do an up and over, which is gonna help work on your obliques and a little bit of flexion in your serratus as well. So with that being said, the first thing we're gonna do is the knees to elbow. You do need to hop up onto that rig. Make sure that your toes do not touch the ground. Now the first thing about the knees to elbow is you're gonna start nice and straight. And the big thing is just getting the rhythm down and pulling your knees in the directions of your elbows. You can see I'm straightening out and then driving my knees straight up towards my elbows. From there, we're gonna get into a toes to bar, which is an advanced movement. So I gotta tell all you guys, if you don't have good overhead extension, I would be very careful with this movement, because if a lot of you guys are desk bound or stuck sitting typing all day, the pec and the shoulder complex might be a little tight. So be sure that you guys have good overhead mobility before going into this exercise, because I have seen people get injured doing this exercise before. So with the toes to bar, you need to first master your basic kip, and then once you feel comfortable getting your chest front and back of the rig, then you start increasing the height on your toes to bar. And pretty soon, we're getting way up, and ideally, all the way up to the bar. So we're extending and then pulling and pushing that bar away as we bring the toes up. Little out of breath, toes to bar. I'm gonna give you guys another look at that in a second. Last movement is a basic up and over movement. So I usually like to set a plate on the ground, and then that's gonna bisect my body into 2. I'm gonna go from side, up and over and reach left, and then also reach right. And then just make sure that you pick your feet up and over that plate. You can see that I'm punching my feet out laterally, so I get good activation in my serratus and in my obliques. Whew, not easy, guys, not easy. On to the next. Okay, guys, next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna be using the TRX. We are going to be doing a TRX plank, TRX pike, and also a push-up. So if you guys watched some of my last videos, we use the slide board. Today, we're gonna be using the TRX. So come on in, let me show you the setup here. Now, you're gonna start off on your butt. The trickiest part is getting the setup. So you're gonna use these bottom loops here, and check this out. You're gonna grab the loops so they look like upside down triangles, and you're gonna lay on your back, tuck your feet inside just like that. Okay, now here's the hard part. Keeping your feet inside of the loops as you roll over onto your stomach. So the first thing we're gonna see is just a static plank. Okay, now the static plank is as follows. The hips are tucked, the glutes are squeezed. I don't wanna see you guys sag like this, because that's really bad for your spine. It creates an impingement in between your vertebrae. So you should be here, planking. Now the next part of this movement is the pike. Piking your hips up, flat, pike, and flat, pike, and flat. You can also go from there into the push-up to pike. Chest to ground, push up with those, pike up with those hips. Chest to ground, push up, pike. Chest to ground, push up into a pike. So there we have it. TRX plank, TRX pike, and then push up to pike. On to the next movement. Okay, guys, next thing we're gonna take a look at is 2 things. One of my favorite exercises, doesn't look like much, reverse crunch, also the leg lift. Now how I like to set this up, any type of decline or inclinated bench, lay on back. The more you extend the arms out, the better, because that's gonna help elongate your core. So get a nice good reach overhead. Good thing I'm wearing deodorant today. So the reverse crunch is from here. It's a small, slow, controlled movement in your midsection, scooping the tailbone off the bench. That's the reverse crunch. Then from there, we can also go leg lift, tap the heels to the ground, and then pike those toes up. And already, from the other exercises and this one, you don't need a whole lot of repetitions in order for you to get good activation in that midsection. So you got reverse crunch and then also leg lift on an incline or a declinated bench. Woo! Next exercise we're gonna cover is the suitcase carry. You guys can use a kettlebell, a dumbbell, barbells. I've even seen people use Olympic barbells for more instability. Today we're gonna be using a kettlebell. So with the kettlebell, the suitcase carry is as exactly as it sounds. Make sure we pick up with good technique. Your abs are sucked in, your shoulders are back, and then you're just gonna walk at a nice, good, steady pace. It doesn't need to be blazing fast here. The kettlebell, try not to rest it on your side, and as you're walking, the opposing oblique and serratus is gonna be working as you stabilize. You go as far as you need to go. Obviously, we got two sides, so we gotta do both. Pick up with good form, up nice and tall, abs are sucked in, shoulders are back, and a nice, good, steady walk. I like to use the suitcase carry sometimes, at the very, very beginning of my exercises, or the beginning of my workout, just to kind of get my core primed to work on some lateral anti-flexion. Suitcase carry. Okay guys, last exercise we're gonna cover today is the side plank. So with the side plank, it's a fairly easy setup. I like to use a raised surface to add some range of motion to help build some strength, some definition to your obliques, your serratus. So how the setup is, you're just gonna come on down to the ground. Fairly basic setup. You're gonna stack your feet. Joint on top of joint, knee on top of knee, hip on top of hip. Now the elbows beneath the shoulder, abs are drawn in. From a bird's eye view, you want your body to look nice and straight, hand high to the roof. Now make sure first that you can stabilize. Second part is we're gonna add some movement. We're gonna drop the hips and drive up. Make sure that you're dropping straight down, getting a good stretch in the oblique and the serratus, and then driving the hips up. If you want to add some intensity here, you can add some speed, or you can add some rotations, dropping the shoulder and reaching behind, and then reaching up, and then kicking those hips high into the roof. So we have a raised side plank. So just really quick in review the things that we covered today. We started off with knees to elbows, toes to bar, and we also did the up and over, all up on the rig. Moving into the TRX, the plank, the pike, and then the push-up to the pike. Along with that decline bench that we used, we did some reverse crunches along with some leg lifts, some suitcase carries, and then also our side plank. So that's our core tutorial part 2. RoughToBeBuffTV, I'm KG. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.